You think you're lonely right now, but you're not lonely. You're never alone, and that's the problem. Every second of your day, something's talking to you. It's music, podcasts, Instagram, YouTube, or maybe those group chats that keep going off. It could even be some broke loser's opinion online. Somebody is always telling you what to think next. You're a walking receiver, and you call that your life. Then one day, the Wi-Fi goes out or your phone dies. You're sitting in a quiet room, and after 3 minutes, you're crawling out of your own skin. You've forgotten what your own mind sounds like. That's the real problem, not loneliness. And this is not some lecture about your screen time. Don't worry, I'm not your uncle. The phone isn't the issue. The phone is the symptom of the issue. The noise is a hiding place, and you know it. Every notification, every video, every stranger's opinion, you invite into your skull, and it's doing a job for you. It's keeping you out of a conversation you've been dodging in your life for years. The conversation with yourself. Think about the last time you were actually alone. No input, nothing playing, just you. What showed up next? Was it the decision you kept postponing, or the man you said you'd become that you quietly buried? That's why the quiet feels heavy. It's not empty. It's full of everything you've been drowning out intentionally. You didn't lose your signal. You've been jamming it. Here's how to make it stop. Don't scroll. Don't touch anything. Just sit here with me for a second. Did you feel that? That little pull, that restlessness inside? It was just a few seconds of nothing and something in you started reaching. That's what you've been running from. You're the first man in the history of your bloodline who never had to hear his own mind. Your grandfather walked to work in silence. He drove in silence. He stood in lines with nothing. He ate meals where the only sound was the sound of his food being chewed. Thousands of silent moments happened in his life in a week, and in every one of them, he was forced to think, to decide who the hell he was. And you know the wild part, nobody took that from you. You gave it away one notification at a time. You sold your inner life for applause, and you didn't even get paid for it. You are the payment. Quick story, in 1665, the plague shut down Cambridge, and Isaac Newton had to retreat to his farmhouse. No university, no colleagues, no noise. He was just a man alone with his own head for 2 years, and he came out with calculus, optics, and gravity. They called those 2 years a miracle, but it wasn't a miracle. It was silence with nowhere left to hide. And you can't survive a red light without reaching for your pocket to look at your average gym crush on Instagram. You think the discomfort means something's wrong with the silence, but the discomfort means something's waiting inside of it. Muddy water doesn't clear because you stir it harder. It clears when you stop touching it. Your mind works exactly the same way. Every answer you've been hunting for in podcasts, in videos, and in other guys' speeches, it's been sitting at the bottom of the water of your life the entire time. You just never let it settle. You kept stirring because stirring feels like doing something. You're a junkie coming off a drug of never hearing yourself think, and withdrawal hurts. It's supposed to. The first minutes of real silence feel like an itch inside of your skull. On the other side of it is something most men die without ever discovering. It's their actual voice. Not the one that repeats what it heard in the morning in the news, the one underneath that. The one that knows what he wants, the one that knows what he's running from. That's the one that you've been trying to reach through your own static for years. And here's what that static is really costing you. Ownership. Be honest with yourself for just 1 second. The opinions in your head right now about money, women, or about what a man is, how many of those came from you? And how many were just installed like software? A man who's never alone with his own thoughts doesn't even have thoughts. He has inventory. These are other people's conclusions shelved in his own head, waiting to be repeated like he came up with them. And the sickest part, this is troubling, he can't tell the difference. He'll fight you over an opinion he's never spent one silent minute examining. You may know him, you may be him right now. But here's what happens when you finally let your own voice through. You become very hard to program by the system. A man who can't sit with himself will accept any voice that fills his silence. That's any opinion, any influencer in any crowd. That's an open frequency, and anyone can broadcast on it. In fact, they're probably broadcasting on it right now. But a man who's done time in the quiet room, you can't just hand him an opinion. He checks it against something internally that he's forged, something that got built in the silence, something that's his. So here's the assignment, and it's smaller than your excuses. Tonight, for 10 minutes, put your phone down. No music, no input, just you in a room with whatever crawls out of there. And I'll tell you exactly what's gonna happen next. And you can't say you weren't warned by this. The first 2 minutes, your hand is gonna wanna reach for that phone. And it's gonna wanna do it on its own, like it belongs to someone else, and it kind of does. Minute 4, your brain's gonna start negotiating. This is pointless. Just check the phone one more time. You're being wired. That voice isn't you. That's the dealer worried about losing a customer. Every addiction sounds reasonable right before you break it, so sit through it. Because around minute 7, minute 8, the water clears, and a thought shows up that didn't come from a screen. Maybe it's small, maybe it's ugly, but it's yours. It's gonna be your first thought in a long time. Tomorrow, do it again, and the day after. Drive one trip in silence. Eat one meal with nothing playing. Not a detox, not a challenge you post about. That's just more noise wearing a costume, a practice. You're learning to keep your own company. And the man who can keep his own company owns the one thing they can't repossess. That's himself. The quiet room is not punishing you. It's been waiting for you, and everyone else is scrolling right now, filling their silence, renting out their skulls by the hour. Let them. You go sit in the quiet room and meet the man that they never will.